Hello, Men's Physique family, and welcome to the first Callout podcast brought to you by Josh and Qais. And we are excited to go over a few things, really. We're going to go over how our week went, the UK, the Arnold UK, and we also have like an exciting show that is new in one of the federations out there in the world, and we'll just cover that in a sec. But how are you doing, Qais?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. So actually, we've had over the last week, we've finished up with Ramadan. So obviously, over the last month, I've been fasting from sunrise to sunset. So it's been a little bit of a shift in my day-to-day life, you could say. But yeah, so we actually finished last week, and we had our like Eid celebration. So it's like the Muslim version of Christmas, basically, is what we had. So yeah, so I just went home, saw family, had some food, and that's it really. Other than that, a pretty uneventful normal week, but I can't complain really. How about yourself? I'm excited to hear about your week more than anything.
Well, before that, I'm actually very curious. Like, what is like if you don't mind sharing, what is like the one thing you take away from Ramadan that is like, I don't know, just that just
Yeah,
brings more wisdom to your life?
yeah. I'd say it's you can deal with more adversity than what you think. For
Hmm.
example, some people on prep are like, "Well, my food's getting a little bit low, so I'm a bit hungry," and then they'll complain about it. And I used to be one of them people, but then when you're like fast for Ramadan and you're not eating or drinking from sunrise to sunset, then and you can deal with that okay, then it just gives you a new appreciation for, you know what, like prep, it actually is not that bad. Like you're still eating every 3 or 4 hours, it's just a little bit less food, and it's not really that bad at the end of the day. So it just gives you a lot more perspective as to like, yeah, what we go through as bodybuilders, it's not like we're not really suffering per se in comparison
Hmm.
to maybe other people in the world. And that's part of the reason why we do it, is to have empathy and put ourselves in the position of people who are a little bit maybe less fortunate than ourselves, who don't have access to a lot of food or water. And yeah, it just considers you should it encourages you to be a bit more compassionate to those people and be more charitable as well. So yeah, it's just having a bit more empathy for people and being painting myself as less of a victim, I would say.
Yeah, I'm just giving back. I love that.
Yeah,
Um, I really encourage all of you really is just to dive into your spirituality and you've discover and find a lot of good qualities that really could help the people around you. For
definitely.
me personally, so I was gone for 7 days and I didn't have access to. So I went to a retreat. I went to a 7 day retreat, and at this retreat, they encourage us to turn off our phones for all 7 days, which was kind of crazy. I was stressing out just because all I do on work is just on my phone and DMing and making sure everybody's set up for posing sessions. And to be honest, my roster is very large, and so I kind of freak out, like making sure, like, oh, I hope I have enough space for all of you once I get back, just because it's pretty tight. But what this 7 day retreat was essentially is it was pretty much a very intense retreat of looking at yourself in the mirror all day, every day, and being away from
Literally
yeah.
just sat there looking at a mirror.
Well, they'll put us in exercises where we were faced with having to internalize maybe past traumas or things that we really distract ourselves today. Like for example, I struggle with sharing my emotions. And the reason why I struggle with sharing my emotions is because I don't want to put my mind in those times of trauma. And so what I do is I mask it by working a lot or being on my phone a lot or doing other activities to distract my mind from not having to meditate and think of those traumatic times in my life. But since they took that away from me, and they had these exercises, I had no choice but to face all of my fears and emotional turmoil that I've never wanted to be in. Like, for example, I'm not an angry person. I don't like to express anger for specific reasons, whether it be like family members, like uh, beating each other, or doing wrong to me or other people. Like I've always saw myself like I don't want to be angry just because I don't want to become like specific family members where I would be very violent, right? Um, but I had to release anger in this one exercise where it finally to make it easier to understand. It's like I feel like I was this cup being filled up to the brim, and it just kept on leaking out. But I would like hold on to the cup, not wanting to release emotions and anger and all that. But there was an exercise where I literally had to like release all of my anger at like full capacity. That the cup was finally empty, and I got over a lot of my childhood trauma that I faced with, and it was powerful, man. I feel very anew. My mind feels clear. I feel very limitless, and I've gained a lot of wisdom that I never knew I've ever gained in a very short amount of time. Because on top of not having, it was crazy. It was like on top of not having my phone, like it made me realize like how often I was dealing with ghost phones. Like I would sit down and take a dump, and I would be like, "Where's my phone at?"
Yeah.
So I could distract myself, or even like laying down in my bed, like I would reach out on the counter, like, "Where's my phone?" Just like so
Yeah.
many different areas. Like, man, this phone is like controlling my life, right? And they also had a very strict regimen as to what time to wake up every day. Like we woke up like at 6:30, but they would change it on us every day. Like they're like, wake up at 6:30 this day, wake up on this day 7 o'clock. But here's a pitch. They didn't even give us an alarm. We had to like
Jeez.
be aware, right?
Yeah.
So that was very interesting.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So I have a question. So what was, I'd say, out of all the activities you did there, what was your favorite or what was the highlight of the trip?
Highlight of the trip, man. Do we want to go like pretty deep into my trauma here? I
Let's
don't
go.
mind. I
Let's
don't mind.
go.
So what I learned was I have anger with my sister. There's a way my sister like does things where it gets me frustrated and angry about things that she does. Like she has brought forth negative energy in a sense of like just being negative in specific ways. And in this exercise, we had to like kind of use that scenario with my sister to overcome it. And I remember in the exercise, I had to like pretty much like look at a wall and share with what's on my mind on my sister, but I felt very forced. I was just like, man, talking down about my sister, that feels awkward. Like I feel so wrong. But the more I was applying that in my exercise, I realized it wasn't my sister that I was frustrated with. It was my aunt. And my aunt is an influence upon my sister being negative. At least that's how I perceive as a kid. My aunt is also another person where when growing up, I remember when I was 2 or 3 years old, I heard her, no, 4 years old. I heard her from the distance saying like, Josh is a lonely kid. And I was just playing soccer outside by myself. Like I'm just a kid playing soccer. But hearing that she said that I was a lonely kid made me believe I was a lonely kid throughout my whole life.
Yeah.
So it's just like she became the author of my destiny essentially. And for example, another thing that I've heard family members say is they have said that being like Samoan people are not smart, they're dumb, they're stupid, and all these other things. And so it was just like a accumulation of all these beliefs that I form for myself and being ashamed of being Samoan. So I don't like being Samoan makes me believe I'm not a smart person, that I'm dumb. And that came from a specific aunt. And there's just things that so my aunt had a daughter and my and it excuse me, sorry. It just like
Okay. Sorry.
oh it's good. Um so my cousin was innocent, and my cousin experienced wanted to experience like love in a specific way. And to make it very simple, I got molested as a child, and that was something I
Yeah.
didn't want to face, just because it was a cousin that I loved and cared for, and my cousin's mom, aunt, like I blame her for her wanting to have this interaction with me as a kid, just because who knows that my cousin didn't know how to deal with their emotions, so she was always alone. And the same cousin who I love so dearly also passed away at age, I was 20 and she was like 22. So she passed away, and so it really just it really messed me up. Like I blamed my aunt for my cousin living a specific life that eventually led her to her death, and so I just have a lot of anger towards that. And once I discovered that at this retreat, and released all this anger and just reflecting how an aunt would just be very negative with my family, and how like I used to not be super grateful with my family, but it just came from an aunt's attitude. And so I realized that I just created all of these programs and everything, and in the end it wasn't like my aunts that I was really mad at, but it was in the end like me. I created all these programs in the way that I think just because of these things that I experienced with my aunts, my cousins, and so it created like this person that doesn't like to release their emotions, which is myself. And it was just like a realization that I am in my own way, and I'm the reason why I've limited myself. And so um, that was an exercise that helped me realize that.
Yeah, for sure,
Like,
sure.
okay.
Yeah,
So
no,
hopefully
that's
that all
cool. No,
makes sense. I feel like that was a
no,
lot.
definitely for sure. I think considering you've gone through all that in your life and like you've turned out the way you have, I think that's, I mean, it's a credit to like, well, how you were raised by your parents, but also just you as a person, that you've managed to go through that. So yeah, man, you should be proud of yourself. And yeah, and like even having those negative emotions towards someone who's like, I don't know, kind of made you feel like that. I feel like it's a completely normal thing that any reasonable human being would have, really. So nice, man. It's good. It's good you've had kind of a means to kind of like deal with that trauma in some kind of way and express it and try and overcome it. So no, that's really cool. That's really cool. To lighten the mood then.
Yeah, so that was very deep. Go ahead.
How did you deal with it from a bodybuilding perspective? So what did you do for training, eating, all that stuff?
Like at the retreat, like the bodybuilding,
Yeah.
like how did I do
Yeah,
that?
yeah. What did you do?
Like what did I like what lifestyle have I applied from bodybuilding into this retreat?
No,
Is
no,
that
no,
what you're
no,
saying?
no. Like, did they let you eat? Did they like bodybuilding meals? Did they let you train in the gym?
Bro, no, we had no access to a gym or
Oh,
and the food was very limited. So I failed to bring my scale, so I pretty much eyeballed everything that we
yeah,
had. And
yeah,
it was really difficult to do, but I didn't gain that much weight after. So
yeah,
they had a typical American diet. It was just like your regular, like breakfast was like eggs, like muffins, and
yeah,
anything Americans eat, like at a I don't know, like American breakfast restaurant.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah.
and lunch and dinner was just like we either had salmon, chicken breast, or some sort of pork. And so I was
Yeah.
just trying to go ham with the chicken as much as possible. Like I was just
Yeah, yeah,
eyeballing. I was like, this looks like
yeah,
about over a pound of chicken, so I'm just gonna have
yeah,
this. So it was kind of funny to see, like my portion of food compared to everybody else was like pretty large. Like I had like thirds most of the time
yeah,
each meal.
yeah. No, that's honestly like that's interesting. You say, "Oh, I didn't gain that much." Like normally, if I travel, I end up losing weight. I always lose weight when I travel. Like even if I have like junk food or anything like that, because I'm like moving about so much and I'm like having just different meals. Normally, my appetite isn't quite as high as it normally is, so I always like lose loads of weight when I travel. Just interesting. I feel like some people, when they're like big eaters, they can put on a lot of weight. Maybe it's an American thing as well. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But whenever I travel, I always lose weight.
Yeah, I definitely stayed around the same weight, so thank goodness. Thank goodness. But yeah,
That's cool.
working out actually, I'm glad I didn't work out that whole week because I can't remember the last time I took a week off from the gym, and I was dealing with some injuries like a shoulder injury and then other injuries like hamstrings, but they all healed in this entire week. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah.
That's a win. That's another win in itself. Cool. Perfect. Okay, do you want to get into some bodybuilding stuff then?
Let's get into it, guys.
Let's go.
Let's see here. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna get right into the Arnold UK. So let's see here. Screen, entire screen. We're gonna see some Inception in just a sec. Cool.
Ooh.
And oh, there's Kiss. All right,
Yeah.
let's get into the Arnold UK. So the Arnold UK, these are the big three. We'll call them the big three that are going to be competing at the Arnold. So it's going to be E-Man, Vitor Chavez, and as well as Andre Dayu. And I have a feeling, in my opinion, it's going to be a very similar placing
Yeah.
compared to the last show. What are your thoughts on
I
that one?
honestly think it's going to be exactly the same. I don't see Vitor not winning unless he's completely off. Just based on what I'm seeing at the minute. Like, very complete front to back now. His back come up a long way. Posing's really nice as well. So yeah, I think Vitor will win. I have Andre in second. As I said, really nice polished package. Really good back. Obviously lacking a little bit in midsection detail, but
There's actually goats
it's
in
very,
that.
very minor. And I think I have Iman in third. I think he needs to make some big improvements, but he could win. But I think there are a few things. Posing in the front shot, and then I'd say that the detail in the back pose is kind of just a little bit off at the minute for Iman.
100%. Yeah, I actually have Vitor in first and E-Man in second. If he comes in as tight as possible. And Andre, to me, I feel like Andre has been bringing the same package. So that's the only reason why I have him in third, but I wouldn't be surprised if he gets second. But let's actually break down how they're looking. A few days out, we'll start with E-Man, because E-Man... Actually, who do you want to start with?
Yeah, I'll do Vitor.
Vitor Chavez? All right.
Since we're here.
Yeah, this is Vitor at the Arnold Classic in the US.
Has he got any recent updates? Because I feel like we talked about this in the last
Yes, let's
the
see
last
what we
podcast,
got
didn't we?
here. All right, Vitor. Honestly, it doesn't look like anything crazy. Let's see. Okay, this looks like one of the most recent.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, his midsection is looking pretty tight. I wish we had a different shot. Let's see here. Take off your shirt, Vitor. Dang, he's looking full.
Yeah,
Look at
very
vascularity.
full, very full. There's probably a reason he's covering his midsection in that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like if Vitor came in absolutely peeled, specifically in the midsection, like this would be
It's
game
almost
over
like
for him.
those lower abs, like the lower two abs, it's not quite as detailed as the upper abs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it could also be like a breathing issue? Because maybe he's storing more
Possibly.
air in the upper abs and he just needs to even it out throughout the
Yeah.
midsection.
I think he's improved a lot with this because it used to be a lot worse. It almost used to look like he was a bit distended in the midsection. Maybe if he carved up too much, but now he has improved that control quite a lot. Whereas his waist looks a lot smaller now, but it's still just bringing that final detail. I would say. I think it's partly genetic as well, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%. Let's see if there's any. Oh, I actually saw this. This was a very true in-person type of experience here. Like his abs look crazy here, and you could tell that his breathing pattern is very different from the beginning of the video towards the end.
That's it. You see, like they're kind of on for a second, and then they kind of go off a little bit.
Yeah, like it's almost like it looks like he's pulling air up to that upper portion of the abs, but that lower one is just looking so flat. It's like he needs to exhale, suck in, but protrude his lower abdomens out a little bit to make sure it's full as possible.
Yeah, actually contract it, because it's almost like he's doing a half vacuum and then contracting, and then that won't allow him to fully contract his abs.
This is actually a very good shot of his back pose and how it looks in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right here, let's see. He has good oblique control. His obliques are looking nice.
There, you see how like separated they are there, and then he
Yeah.
loses it when he gets on. It's when he gets on his obliques, he loses his main abs a little bit.
Yeah, it's so tricky. So tricky.
Interesting. Should drop him a DM.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he just needs to suck out that lower area.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if he's like a little subconscious about not having a tight waist. I feel like a lot of people like to pull in a vacuum just because they want to make sure the waist is as tight as possible. But I mean, it's all about hip angling, making sure you have your hips a specific angle and that your stance itself allows you to rotate your hips as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on
Cool.
Vitor?
No, I think that's everything covered. Can we go to whoever's next? Andre?
Let's go with Andre. Man, this guy is always traveling, having a good time. So
Yeah.
not much. Let's see
Life
here.
goals.
Seriously, look how handsome he is. Even right here, you can already tell his midsection is the last to go when it comes to
Yeah.
the shreds.
Yeah. His arms and delts are crazy, though. His arms, especially, are just nuts.
Hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
think
sure
he's
if
just
this
hitting
is
some
too
classic
recent.
shots here.
Yeah, it looks like he's pretty covered up. Hasn't really posted much since the Arnold. There's another shot.
Yeah, I think that was before the Arnold, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about, like, do you think he could do anything different with his midsection control, or do you reckon it's just a genetic thing with him?
He kind of looks like. Let me see how he looks at the Arnold, because if I remember right, it looks like he shifts his hips a little bit. Does he not? Like, let's see here
Let's see.
in his front pose.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like he needs to find a happy medium where his hips are relatively neutral. And I
Yeah.
feel like that would give him better control in his midsection, his abs.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, that's the only thing. And then didn't Tyre Mannion say something about his back pose?
He said earlier on he was pinching a little bit in his back pose, but he kind of fixed it for finals.
Yeah. Yeah, just look how he sets into this front pose. Like, man, exhale, brother.
Yeah.
There you go.
There, he's on it there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like his hips are relatively neutral there, so they look sharp, but yeah, it looks like he kind of dips, and then I wouldn't be surprised if his hips are a little bit more forward towards me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people, always do your very best to keep your hips neutral, keep your spine neutral to make sure you're hitting the abs properly. I can see how the hip pinches a little bit.
Because, a lot of people, as you mentioned, when they push the hips forwards towards the judge, you have to think visually it's an illusion. So if your hips are the closest things to the judges, your waist is going to look bigger, your top line's going to look smaller. So it's just a case of like really kind of just pushing those hips back a little bit and bringing the chest over the toes. And then that'll just give the illusion of a smaller waist and a much fuller top line.
100%. And man, I feel like there could be an improvement into his posing flow as well. Yeah, because everything looks very, what's the word? Robotic in a way.
Yeah.
So his flow can improve, but it's come a long way since his very first showing where he placed fourth at the Olympia. But yeah, so you have him in second then, huh?
Yeah, I do.
And
I
why
have him in
is
second.
that? Is it because he has a UK energy helping him out, or what?
Maybe home crowd, people love him. Honestly, I just think it could go either way. I just think with the way Iman's coming in, he does need to improve from where he was in terms of his condition of his back, but also his front posing needs improving, in my opinion. And it just remains to be seen whether that will be the case. I'll reserve judgment for when I see it.
Yeah, let's actually go to Eman because his posing is different from the Arnold UK. And so we'll actually kind of show you guys how he looks at the Arnold UK because I believe that his posing here looks better than what he's currently doing. Let's see.
Yeah, I think his lower body setup's okay here, but it's more the upper body which needs a bit of work with his shoulder alignment, his spinal alignment as well, I'd say, in that front pose.
Yeah, and his back pose has consistently been good.
Yeah, it's just the separation more than anything now which needs to come in.
So let's actually see how he's posing. He actually met with Father Jeremy Buendia. Do you want to see Jeremy Buendia or the day before this one right here?
Yeah, I reckon the day before.
Okay, cool. Let's go over this one. So this is in the locker room a few days ago, and this is his front pose. As we can see here, his stance specifically. Cass, you want to go over his stance for that front pose?
Yeah. So the main thing we need to look at is kind of where his heels are in relation to each other. So you have to look at the so once he gets into his front pose, what's happening is the right heel, so the one where he's got most of his body weight, is actually it's actually in front of the left heel. So when you create that weird angle where you're bringing the left heel too far back, what's happening then is bringing the hips and rotating them a bit more to the front, and it's going to make that hip stick out. So it's all about creating them illusions, and how we do that is kind of have that kind of L shape with the feet where we have the heels level with each other. And then that'll allow us to manipulate our waistline a little bit more to kind of hide that waist a little bit. So I think the biggest thing I'd look at with this for him is, just adjusting the foot positioning and the angles of the feet, but also the positions as well.
Yeah, and you can already tell that this stance right here looks a little awkward on him, just because how the weight distribution from his right foot to the left, like I feel like his left foot in that position makes his hips unaligned, like it has like this weird slope, and we've talked about this before. We would love to see him and have like a smaller waist, a little bit more hip rotation. So just like Cass always talks about, that right foot being 90 degrees, left foot stepped up a little bit forward, so you have those heels aligned, and then making sure as he rotates his hips, he should be good. And then the upper body, what would you say you take away the most from his upper body?
It's hard to tell because it almost looks like he's not posing for the camera. Like, if you see where he's looking, it looks like he's looking to the side of the camera a bit. So, obviously, like, if he is posing for the camera, I'd look at, obviously, setting his feet, then rotating the hips to the side a bit more to kind of hide the waist. And then the only other thing I'd say is maybe that right side, that right arm is just dropping a little bit. So I'd maybe just slightly lift that right elbow to try and get the delts level with each other. But yeah, very, very minor. I'd say that the hand on the hip actually looks pretty decent.
And this is him after meeting with Jeremy Buendia right here.
Yeah, I'd say that's better than the one before for sure.
I would like to see a little bit more weight into his right leg a little bit until his head and his heel is aligned vertically. Yeah. And man, I feel like that left foot is a little bit too far out.
I agree. I was going to say that.
I mean, the hip, the rotation of his hips, a little bit more about that 45-degree angle would improve his taper as well.
Yeah. I almost feel like, when Sadiq came back, he did something similar to this, where he was kind of like, rather than rotating his hips, he was overly dipping rather than rotating, and then it just looked a bit off in terms of the front pose. So I think he kind of needs to do something similar, just rotate it a little bit more to the side to kind of hide the waist a bit, rather than overly dipping.
Yeah, and it looks like he maybe, you tell me if you see the same thing, it looks like he's overly rotating his right shoulder forward. And so
I'd say
causing some flexion in the right pec.
Yeah, I agree. Very, very minor, but just roll it back a little bit just to keep the pec full.
Yeah, and who knows, this is a still shot, so it's like he's probably not in his full pose as well. And then, look, even Jeremy noticed it. He's like trying to level his shoulders there.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. No video, huh? It's just a shot. Back pose.
Nice.
I'm going to see if I can meet with Jeremy, because I'm actually going to be in the same city where his gym is. I'm going to see if I can meet with him.
That'd be cool. That'd be very, very cool.
But yeah, midsection's looking good from this angle for E-Man. So as long as he brings in a sharper package, I feel like he would be very dangerous to work with. In my opinion, I would love to see him with both hands on hip. That's just me.
That would be interesting. That would be very, very interesting.
Just because when I saw him next to Brandon, man, like I feel like they have a similar build in some sense. And one thing I am proud of too with E-Man, he has brought up his quads compared to past shows. Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
But cool. So that's our take on what's going to happen at the Arnold. Is there anybody else you want to feature that's going to be competing at this show?
I think it'll be fine. I think those are the main three, really, which they will get top three.
Cool. 100%. All right, well, let's get into the fun portion of this video.
The moment you've all been waiting for.
The moment you've all been waiting for. Again, guys, so sorry with the little trauma I shared in the beginning of the day. But just letting you all know I'm fine. I love my entire family, even the ones I felt like have done me wrong. I do care for them. I just learned that, we're all human. We all have a lore to our story, and honestly, bro. Okay, I'll share this before we get into this next portion, since it's going to be talking about anime, because we're going to get into the anime portion. What I experienced this last week was pretty much season 2 of Vinland Saga. Just like how I was really enclosed with my emotions, and once I found out where my emotions, shame, and guilt came about, like I pretty much had a Thorfinn thing going on.
Yeah, I just thought whilst you're saying that, this is like an amazing anime backstory. This is like ultimate trauma backstory. I could just play like, you know, Sadness and Sorrow from Naruto.
Yeah.
The theme song. Put that in the background.
But
if you say that would be great. Great real content. But yeah, anyways, next topic.
So I'll have you talk about this because you're the one that sent this to me.
Yeah, right. Okay, so there is a federation called the INBA. So this is a separate federation in several countries around the world. And as you can see from this poster, you may be asking, why are the anime characters on a bodybuilding poster? This is because they are doing a category called cosplay fitness in the INBA, where basically, you are going to be judged on your physique, but you're going to also be judged on how you bring this character to life as well, whatever character it is. So, this is like, I think I commented, or I think I sent it to someone saying I am entering this show and I'm competing in it because, it's interesting to say the least. I think because obviously there's become a bit of a niche now where it's like there's a lot of people who are into bodybuilding but into anime as well, so they're like really tapping into that niche and that market. So what are your thoughts when you saw this?
I honestly didn't see it as a bodybuilding show at all. I truly just saw it as pure cosplay and anime fans. It's crazy to me that it's just natural. I feel like they should open this to all people, just because in anime, if you watch anime, guys, there's a lot of enhanced individuals. We're even talking about like Dragon Ball. They use senzu beans and specific earrings, and there's so many there's so many things that you could use. Anyways, like those are my thoughts. And the
only thing with that is, I've just remembered the INBA. It literally is a natural federation. So
yes,
that's the reason why it's a natural show. But I still think it's a bit weird that the Natural Federation randomly decided to do a cosplay class.
So let's actually. Here's a question for you, Qais.
Honestly, what's that? Sorry.
No, go ahead. You were just cutting out a little bit. Go ahead.
No. You were going to ask a question and then
could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I was going to ask you, who would you cosplay as? Who would you cosplay as for this show?
Oof. Let me think. Do you know who I would? This is a crazy answer, by the way. Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
No freaking way.
Bro, that guy has
body
the
paint
smallest
yourself.
waist. That guy has the smallest waist in anime, I think. And wide cap shoulders, so I think I'd be Hisoka.
Just so people can know who Hisoka is, this is pretty much Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
There we go.
Yes, he does. That's a figure. Yeah, very small waist right here. And that's an interesting choice, considering what type of character
Hunter
he is.
Hunter, and you know what this guy... If you know what this guy does, that you'll know why that's an absolutely crazy answer.
It really is. He's very, he's a very sus character, but a very powerful character at the same time. I encourage you guys to watch that. For me, man, who would I cosplay as for this? I think I would cosplay as Gyome Himehima from Demon Slayer, or just because the way I pose is very strong and powerful. Like I like to do like very fast movements and be very strong like that.
Yeah.
Or now that I think about it, I would like to be Avatar the Boulder.
Boulder, that's a great answer. That is a fantastic answer, that. The Boulder does not approve of
Exactly.
Oh, that's a
I
great answer.
if I'm given a classic physique routine, like I could easily do like his move set that he does in that scene where he's fighting against Toph. And I'm actually trying to grow out my hair right now, so that would be a
Nice.
work. And I could grow a goatee, not a beard though. I can't only a goatee.
Yeah.
That's
Whereas with me, with Hisoka, I'll just basically explain that bungee gum has both the properties of rubber and gum live on stage.
yeah. And speaking of like just anime, we want to show you guys like there has been a show where people are dressed up as Luffy. You know more about this than I do, but go ahead.
I do. Yeah, this was in Tokyo actually. So they did like, so for those who don't know, there's actually a gym in Tokyo in Shibuya, and it's the One Piece gym. And I
Yes.
believe that gym put on this show where basically people dress up as Luffy and then do like his signature like gamu gamu poses, and then they just start like yelling and exclaiming the power moves like live on stage. You can see there. And
That's so
yeah, I
sweet.
think I think they judged on like who's bringing the character the most to life. Honestly, like I would love to go to one of these shows. I think it'd be so fun.
Bro, this is so like so at this retreat they were talking about how like be your inner child and this is like pure inner child energy right here of just like
Yeah.
who grown man jacked dude dressed up as Luffy and then they're just yelling. I bet like this was a loud show too. Like there's a lot of like power ups and stuff. Like right here, that's crazy to me. Uh, I wonder what the judging is
Yeah.
in regards to like not only the physiques, but they're also judging how like shredded they are. Like I wonder if like the shreds is even important. Like kind of similar to like women's fitness where they get judged entirely
Yeah.
on their routine more than their physique.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. I think it's yeah, largely based on how well they play the character.
I wonder if there is a here now. Do you know if there's a Dragon Ball Z?
I
Um,
don't know.
let's see if there is. Like if they did like a bodybuilding show.
No, I don't think. I think this is literally the only thing they've done like that ever.
Dang. Well, I'll answer me a little bit here. This is actually my video I did like 2 years ago. This is when I was like posing like freaking anime characters.
Nice.
Do you know who the Ginyu Force are?
No,
Really? From Dragon Ball? Did you not watch
no,
all
no.
of Dragon Ball
I
Z?
watch. See, I always watched it like sporadically, so I never watched it religiously.
Oh yeah, these are like very goofy characters. They're essentially like posing like Power Rangers, but they're a lot more cringe in the Dragon Ball universe.
Nice.
Uh, but yeah, sweet man. That pretty much covers everything when in regards to all of our topics, unless you have other thing in mind.
Yeah.
How are we on time?
So we're nearly 40 minutes in, so I reckon we can cover some more stuff.
Yeah, let's actually cover some stuff that will be very beneficial for people that are listening that are interested in increasing their brand or may have specific questions for us that we could answer that you probably think of subconsciously. I was thinking about how, I mean, Kes and I have come a long way. We've been full-time posing coaches for, have you hit a year yet?
Yeah. Yeah. I have hit a year now. Yeah,
Kes has
indeed.
hit a full year. So I have this question for you is if
Yeah.
you were to give insight for someone who is whether you're a posing coach or like an online coach in some way, like what is like the advice you would give to someone? So this is Kes's page. So he's like a really
Yeah.
good example to look at.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways you can go about it. I mean, the first thing you would do before you even worry about branding or anything like that is actually focusing on providing good results. Actually helping people and being willing to help people, even for free, to start off with. Like, even if it's like just helping your friend out for free, it's experience for you as a posing coach, and then that will give you more confidence, and then eventually people will see results that you post with other people, and then you'll be able to help other people as well. And then yeah, don't be afraid to post about the results you get. So obviously that is what we call social proof, is you basically showing that you can improve someone's posing. So whenever you do that, post about it, because then that's proof to other people that you can do what you say you can do. From there, obviously, you're going to get more inquiries from other people, and then that's when you can really, I suppose, monetize it a little bit more and then charge for it. But another thing in terms of the content side of things as well, as you can see here, is actually providing value for people. So there's obviously social proof, but then it's like, okay, so can I actually provide universal value that can help lots of people solve one specific problem with their posing? So that's one piece of advice I'd use with value content, is don't try and fix everything at once. Think about maybe one or two main topics with a pose and hone in on that and get that fixed. Then people will like save the post. They'll maybe ask you for advice, and then from there you'll get clients. Then over time you'll obviously build your quote-unquote brand by getting more clients, getting good results. When you have clients on stage, post about that as well. People want to see your clients compete and win shows, so that's always very important as well. So I'd always post about that. Definitely post about that as well, and then through that you'll get even more clients over time, or even show you physically working with clients. This is Kyle. He's an IFBB pro, so obviously if you do get like high-level clients, show people that you're working with high-level clients, because then that will make other high-level clients want to work with you as well. So as I said, just share everything you're doing as part of your journey, everything you do as a posing coach, helping people, making content, little tidbits of advice, even cover pro shows in terms of the posing, what they're doing well, what they can improve on as well. Speaking about relevant topics like, I don't know, high-level pros like Erin Banks, for example, and what they're doing with the posing side of things. And as I said, it's just building all this up, and all these little things will help position you as more of an authority figure within the space. And that's what you want to become, is you want to be like seen as being the spokesperson or the authority on that particular subject. And then ultimately people are going to listen to you and take you a lot more seriously. And then from there they'll more likely to pay for your service. So it's just a combination of doing all that stuff, but then with all that being super relentless with it all. So posting every single day, whether it be social proof, whether it be a piece of advice, but just be consistent on people's feed all the time. So for me, I know like people who follow me for Men's Physique, I'm always on their feeds because I post every single day. I post on stories, and they're subconsciously, I'm always in their head. So if they need help with their posing, like, I'm going to be the person they're going to go with ultimately. So that was a bit of a ramble, but that's everything I could think of off the top of my head in terms of especially the early stages of becoming a posing coach. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Josh.
Yeah, you got some good stuff. Well, another question I have that I would feel like would be very valuable to hear is what are the imposter syndrome thoughts that you deal with? I'll share with you mine too. Did you have any?
I had and I have imposter syndrome thoughts. What I would say is when I started, I would let it affect me more. So it's kind of like, before posting any piece of content, I was like, well, who am I to be doing this? Who am I to be telling people how to pose? Trying to paint myself as some authority figure on posing.
Sure.
And then sometimes I would like back off from posting a piece of content because a fear of being judged by, I don't know, other people within the space. So that was a big thing for me. Another thing as well was like, when you get high level clients, it's that fear of like, oh, I'm working with like an IFBB pro now. And it's like, am I qualified to be working with this person? But then the thing is, right, always what I feel like is when you actually just do it, you just say F it and do it. Like, you do the session with the client, you post that piece of content, like, good things happen and you help people and people will like the content. They'll save the content. They'll tell you, oh, that really helped me out. And then when you get more and more of that happening in terms of like that positive reinforcement, then that just gives you the confidence to think, yeah, like, I kind of do know what I'm talking about here. I'm kind of good at what I do. But that just comes through just like actually like kind of succeeding and just doing it again and again and getting good results with clients, getting good before and after photos, having them win shows, being consistent with content, growing a following. So the biggest advice I would take is like, just don't think as much before you do things. Just if it's like, if you think this could potentially help you as a posing coach, improve you and grow the business, like, just do it. Like, this is a perfect example. This SpongeBob, like seriously, like who would think about putting random SpongeBob clips on photos of men's physique guys posing? And we just like, you know what, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna do it, and it's just a bit of fun at the end of the day. So you don't have to take everything super seriously. And yeah, I feel like part of this is contributing to growing the business, growing the brand, and everything. So yeah, the biggest tidbit I'd say is think less and do more.
Mm-hmm. Don't think, just do. The main imposter syndrome I would deal with is comparing myself to other posing coaches that I respect. Just like how they're posting in their stories or how they're posting in general. Or I would just ask myself, like, shoot, when I'm posting, like, am I copying them? I'm trying not to copy them. But what got me over that is just what I think of as like branding. We all could be posting the same thing, but we got to remember that we are individually different people. And the background, you could do the same thing, but the background is different. Like if you look at Qais' page, his is where is it? You like this dark background. And when I see you in red or any color like this, I know it's Qais' page. Like that's like personal branding. Like that's like a style that draws my eyes. For me is more, I use like a plain white background, and I rely a lot on my board shorts to kind of give the talking. Use code Josh for Manifest shorts. But also like I'm one who it was a habit that I developed. Like, I mean, all of us have seen ourselves during our off season. We may say we're fat or we don't have the abs or physique is there. I actually would post in tanks like this just to hide the physique. But the more I did it, it just became me. Like I remember when I showed up to a seminar that Daniel Coffin invited me to host. He was just like, "Are you gonna wear the tank, the beater? Because that's you. Like that's his look." So I was just kind of like, "Okay, cool." Yeah. Like. It was something I was insecure about, but now I feel honestly like kind of naked not wearing it. Or for me, like just how Qais was talking about the whole like we implemented SpongeBob. Like I implement like video games to superheroes, just anything where it draws emotions and character to it all, as well as like the head talking reels too, where I'm talking about people. I've actually worked with Drew Cullen. He's a good guy, and yeah, just showing all the value and tips that you can do, just because even though if you feel like you're giving away all the free tips and everything that you've shared with some client, and sometimes some cues don't stick to people. So even when they hire you, you'll be surprised like how much they haven't really understood all of your content and your tips and tricks. So that's another thing. And for me, I'm really big into bios. Like if your bio, like my advice for bios is keep it as simple as possible to guide your viewers where to go and what to do. Like for mine's very straightforward, full-time posing coach, and I'm very strict on working with IFBB and NPC at the moment. And I just say pose to win, and then there's my link to all the information you need. My profile is very to the point. And I don't know, I think of it as like a LinkedIn. You go on a LinkedIn for business and you search the profile and you want to make sure it's as clear as possible. And then Qais as well. Nice profile, everything straight to the point. I just noticed that you have like a grad hat on the top. That's actually kind of funny.
It was like, it's my form of being like, you know what, I'm like a teacher type thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just my emoji for teaching, I suppose.
Yeah, I see. And then is the dragon like aligned with the Kaizen is what you're thinking?
Yeah, because like with the Kaizen branding, sometimes they add like dragons to some of the branding and it's like kind of on brand. I suppose that's a cool topic to speak about, like visual branding with your business as well. So for that side of things, you have to think about like, okay, what do you want your business to be? What do you want it to represent? And who are your customers ultimately? So with Kaizen, like people kind of know me as someone who's kind of like into anime. So like the whole Japanese theme kind of fit was kind of on brand. And with the concept, we've talked about this in the last podcast. Obviously, Kaizen kind of fits what the culture of the business is in terms of continuous improvement, and it just sounds cool as well. So I was like, yeah, Kaizen sounds good. And then from all that, then I was like, okay, in terms of the aesthetic of how I want everything, I want it relatively minimal, but also I want to create like a luxury feel to the brand in terms of how it kind of feels when you look at it. Because ultimately, like, I want people to feel like the posing coaching for Kaizen posing is a luxury premium product, and that's kind of how I wanted to feel. So when I was like researching branding and everything, I was actually looking at like the high-end market stores and stuff like that for like logos and how I could like apply it to this. And then I kind of generated drafts on ChatGPT, funnily enough, and then when I saw something that I liked, then I sent it to a graphic designer, and then they designed the actual final logo in the end. And that's kind of how it was made, the Kaizen logo. And then everything from that in terms of the visuals kind of derives from that. So it's kind of like just having that consistency with your branding. So when people see the content, they're like, that's Kaizen. Like, that's what it is. And they can just see that straight away. And then it just helps them identify with more, gives them that familiarity. And then when you have that familiarity and that branding, it makes it something that people want to be a part of then. And when people are part of this bigger movement, then that's when you can really scale a business and make it much, much bigger than what it currently is. And like ultimately, like the way I want to take it, I don't want it just to be about me anymore, this business. Obviously, we have the other posing coaches working with us as well. And I want it to be more of a community side of things, where all of us are working together, and it's more of like a larger movement about me, about the other coaches, about all the athletes as well, that the other boys are helping and I'm helping as well. So that's kind of what the vision I have for this brand or business or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, man, it's still in its early stages, still like only 3 months in, just under 3 months in, but I'd say it's going pretty well so far.
Yeah, everything is, that's cool. I like all your numbers and everything. Sweet.
Yeah.
As for me, when it comes to branding, oh shoot, where am I? Where are you, Josh? Cool. I mentioned this in unreleased video, but I like to make things honestly kind of mysterious. Like my results are I don't have too many results down here, but that's just because I just need to get to it. Maybe I'm being a little bit lazy, but just kind of giving you a feel of how things work on my end and what you will be receiving when it comes to working with me. So I like to do like before and afters. Depending on how the session goes, I like to do before and afters in video clips, and even just showing off how you could do a video and then also the photos at the very bottom. And it has like this very artistic touch to it that I pull from my animation and illustration background. Like, this is something like you would see on a loading screen of a video game or something, but this is just showing like I'm not only men's physique, but I'm a jack of all trades of like working with multiple different athletes. So this is like a transformation guide classic bodybuilding. Oh, there's Qais.
Who's that guy?
Look at that. Good looking man. And just so people could see like, oh wow, this is like what you were saying, like a luxurious product that they're gonna be receiving. Like, I want to make sure everybody has that same feeling. And then my other little emblem I have is just me and my whole prep. This is here more just for people to see that I will apply of what I'm doing, and that I'm also like, for me, it's important to prove that you could do a whole prep and that you know how it works and everything, just so you can earn trust in that way as well, and so people can follow that journey. And when it comes to stories, I'm actually curious what your thoughts are, Cass. But stories, I like to make them I'm breaking into making them more mysterious and making them more simplified. One thing I would encourage people not to do is don't post like 30 times a day on your stories. Like, don't make it seem like how do I explain it? Like a Facebook sharing everything and anything that has nothing to do with you type of thing. So we'll go over to Cass, just because, Cass, I like how you implement stories too, and like what's the everything.
Yeah.
Like this.
So this is a bit
I don't see people
yeah.
that do this often, but I like what you do with the stickers.
They work well, to be fair. So that's the little thing. So engagement hack, by the way. Never or don't never. But if you want maximum views on your stories, right? Don't insert a link that takes you away from Instagram, because Instagram doesn't like that. And it'll reduce your story views. So what I do with these sorts of things is, if I want people to, I don't know, show they're interested in posing coaching, or show they're interested in a seminar or an event, I'll do like a little sticker tap to show that they're interested. And then obviously from there, then you'll reach out to them from that sticker tap. And then that will get a little bit more views on the story. Obviously, just maybe some short social proof, some before and after of, I normally do at least one a day of one of my sessions, a before and after, just to show I'm an active posing coach and I'm helping people. And then there, do a bit of my own posing as well, as you can see. I'll probably do a little post, a story post with me and Josh doing the the podcast as well. So as I said, just maybe show a couple of highlights of what's going on in your day that's outside of the norm. Show you active as a posing coach, and then maybe just like, I don't know, maybe an opinion you have on something, or something you're doing in your day-to-day life that people can identify with. Maybe you're watching a new anime, or I don't know, you're trying a new Monster flavor or something like that. Because then those sorts of things spark conversation with people, and they'll comment, oh well, that Monster sucks, or whatever, or I've read that manga or watched that anime. And then these people are potentially your clients. So if you have natural conversations with these people, then maybe one day they might say, you know what, I've got a show coming up, I need help with my posing. And then because ultimately people are going to be more likely to buy from you if they like you more, and if they kind of feel comfortable speaking to you, rather than seeing you as this figure who is really unapproachable or hard to speak to. So I'd try and make stories somewhat engaging and just show what you're doing, generally speaking, without going too crazy posting 1 million stories a day.
Yeah, exactly. Like right here for Qais, this is a call to action post. This one right here is social proof of what he does and that he's active in what he does. And then this is him. What would you say this is more like a check-in?
Yeah, this is more like, me as an athlete. And this is proof that I walk the walk, and I pose well myself as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's pretty much it, really. I mean, is there any, I can't think of, do you have any questions for me in regards to socials and stuff?
Yeah, I would say like, so from your perspective with let's go on your Instagram then.
Okay. Yeah.
Where are we? Yeah. So when, with your content, so do you like pre-plan your content in terms of, okay, on this day I'm going to do this, or does it just come to your head randomly and you just like, you know what, I'll just post this piece of content?
It comes to my head randomly. I'm not as organized as you.
Yeah.
But I do have a cycle, though. So this is the cycle of content that I like to do. Like, for example, if it was a perfect world and I could do... Oh, here it is. So this right here is authenticity. I'm trying to show here, like, I'm human and you're going to be working with a human. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Like, I'm not like your meathead, like, hardcore bodybuilder that you're working with. You're going to be working... Like, this is just more just to prove that you just to form connection with someone. And that's the post I like to do. And then I get into, I call them authoritative reels. And the authoritative reels is when I'm either teaching something, or I'm teaching it by myself, or I'm just doing anything to share free content just so you can see what is going through my mind and what you'll be getting into when we work together for posing coaching. So that's the second form of content I do. The third form of content I do is talking heads on a specific pro or a specific athlete of things they're doing right. And I'm pivoting to more of the female content as well. Yes, this is a female. She's open. Women's bodybuilding.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I get into the women as well and talk about their posing, just because I'm tired, from my perspective, I'm tired of, like, men's physique wasn't getting love. Now I'm noticing a lot of women divisions aren't getting love too. So I like to share that as well, give them the spotlight just because they deserve it. They work so hard. I mean, look at this physique. Like, those quads go crazy. They're better than mine. So I want to showcase that. And even when I'm giving authoritative reels, I try to be goofy like this, and showing off like the fun side of me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be serious all the time. I'm just doing that.
Yeah.
And the next form of content I do is, where is it? I do these, which is copying a pro or some way, just so I could prove to everybody, like, hey, when we work together, I'm gonna be resourceful. I have a lot of pro, knowing that I have a lot of pro flows memorized in my brain, and it kind of helps me be more creative in the posing
Yeah.
experience with you guys to know, like, oh, let's try this, let's not try this, or let's just opening the creativity doors. And then this one right here is more for um, another form of flows of me just being creative and just having fun of it. Do I feel like you should do this on show day? No. I will actually simplify this more, but this is just kind of showing off my interest in comics and everything, and that's pretty much it. And then now we have the Kaizen, no, not the Kaizen, the
First call
first
out.
call out podcast as well. So that's like my cycle. Oh, and
Yeah.
I guess I have like a fifth or sixth one, which is me with family members or loved ones. Like this is just me, just kind of vlogging, showing my life to show that I'm human as well.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cool, man. That's cool. As I said, like I feel like some people think, oh, it has to be so strict, where it's like, oh, I follow this exact structure, post on these exact days, this kind of content, and I feel like you'll massively limit yourself if you just think like that. So I would just say have a rough idea of what you want to post in terms of structure for it, and post in that rough ratio. But then if you feel like, okay, I want to do something like on this, like just go for it, man. Just like the worst thing you can do is overthink it, and then because of that not post anything. Like that's the worst thing. So just get posting, see what works, see what doesn't work, and then just when you find out what works well for you, then just really hone in on that type of content. And when we talk about something working, it doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, it has to get this number of likes. Some posts can get more saves, for example. What I find is carousel posts often get a lot of saves. A lot of saves. Sometimes some of my carousels actually get more saves than they get likes on the photos. Like this one, I think I had over 1,000 saves on that one, which is pretty cool. So yeah, as I said, like it just it's a different way of consuming the content. Sometimes people want to be able to look at it a little bit longer and read and consume it that way. So if I feel like a message is better voice doing that, then I'll do a carousel instead. So it's just a different type of content, really.
Yeah, and keep your branding consistent too. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
do you use the same font for everything pretty much?
I do. I always all my carousels I keep same fonts for the titles, for the main ones. For these I go sometimes differ a little bit, but it's simple and easy to read is the main thing with these.
Yeah, for me, my I like using I forgot what's called. It's called stretched or something. So this one right here. And the reason why I
Yeah.
use this one
Yeah.
is it reminds me of men's, what was it called? It's like those men's fitness magazines. Like this is like the font that a magazine would use,
Yeah.
which is why I use that one. And then sometimes I use this one too, just because it's a trending version that a lot of people do,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's mainly it, really. But I keep it consistent. I keep my fonts either white or make them look cartoony, like this one with George Brown, where yours is. Do you try to stick with the same colors?
Yeah, roughly. So I'm either like a goldy slash yellowy color and white. That's my main text colors, I'd
Yeah,
say, because it's kind of easy to read that way, and it
yeah.
fits with the brand as well.
I, bro, how do you do all these lines or anything? I'm not gonna steal it. It's just like,
So
what
literally
is this?
CapCut.
Oh, really?
CapCut. So yeah. Basically it's like stickers on CapCut, and you just put it
Ah,
on there and it just automatically does it. So yeah, as I said, if you download CapCut, I'd get it like on your PC, and then yeah, you can do all this stuff. It's actually really easy to use as well.
yeah. Bro, you know what would be interesting if we did is we reviewed posing coaches or new posing coaches pages and give them feedback or
Do you know
something.
what? Do you know what? We should do that. We should do like submissions. So ask them to like submit it in for
Uh-huh.
reviews. That way they've actually asked us to review it rather than us doing it unsolicited.
Yeah, that'll be funny. I've stopped sharing
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
that'll be a good idea for sure. We'll do that.
Yeah, yeah. So guys, or yeah, just for any, or maybe I mean it could be for. Should we do strictly posing coaching with those?
What's that? Sorry.
Like, should we make it strictly posing coaching or just anything
Or
posing
even just
related?
general content, maybe just general content on your page for people who want to grow their business, whatever that may be, or want
Yeah.
to grow their socials.
And I feel like we're like the perfect guys to nitpick and give advice, just because being posing coaches, you got to have a good eye for not only posing but everything, like how your bio
Yeah.
looks, how your page looks, just everything. It's like if we really pride ourselves of being good posing coaches, then everything else needs to be clean and precise. We didn't even I didn't even mention Chris Barnett. I wanted to show his, but there, I mean he has a specific organization that's like it's his.
I reckon when we do that episode, we'll use him as like a reference.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I first started, like, I definitely used him as inspiration, like as like a foundation to work off of. Like, okay, so I like what he does. How do I make it into my version, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think actually he'll be a great guest to get on. I think we should get him on.
Yeah. What if we had guests of like posing coaches and just like
Yeah. I think he would be the perfect like first guest.
yeah, he'll be good. Christina actually is blowing up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you noticed her. She got
Yeah. I've seen.
got
That'd be
viewed on
cool.
Beyond the Stage. I was like, what? I haven't been
Yeah.
noticed on Beyond the Stage, but yeah, that's really cool. Or man, I can't think of any others. Um, I forgot what his last name. I really like David Whitman. I think his last name is Whitman.
Yeah.
D Whit. I'm friends with him. And then
Yeah.
also people like the Posing University. Shoot, why can't I think of their
Sammy.
names?
I know Sammy very well.
Yeah.
So it's John Lofthouse and Sammy, and I know Sammy very well. So he'd definitely be game for coming on.
Yeah, that would be dope. Because is it just
Yeah.
them two, or do they have other guys with them?
They're the two like creators of it, and then there's a bunch of other posing coaches that work under that brand, I suppose.
Nice, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of anybody else that comes to mind. Man, I can't think of a lot of people these days. Um, are you friends or know that guy? Oh, what's his name? He's the classic guy that wears a compression shirt. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, is it Killian?
Yeah, Killian. Do you know Killian?
I don't know him, but his content's really nice.
Yeah, it's very like mysterious and I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. I
Yeah.
like his stuff. But anyways,
Yeah.
we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and just add any comments that you may want or need. Just any questions, just for us to work with you guys and all the good stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Love you guys. Peace out.
See ya.